well, let's redraw some anime scenes. Today I chose 2 scenes to redraw. The first one being Ayana Koji from Classroom of the Elite. This scene was from Season 1, Episode 12. By the way, since I will be talking about the shows included in this video, there might be slight spoilers. I won't talk in detail about every single thing that happened, but I will briefly talk about some stuff. So if you don't want to get spoiled at all, then here's your spoiler warning. Let's get into it. There are 2 main reasons why I chose this scene. One, I feel like it's a pretty iconic and memorable one. For those who don't know, it's the very last scene in Season 1. His words were just so chilling and cold, even though he had that emotionless expression on his face. It really gave off that this is just the beginning kind of vibes. I thought it looked really cool to draw and study from. The sketch is wrapping up here, so let me talk about it for a bit. Also note, for the video, I will switch between the speed paint and actual screen captured footage. When I drew him, I really was simply trying to replicate it as close as possible, but in my style. I have a bad habit where if I'm drawing fan art of a character, my style gets influenced by the style of the show or game or whatever. So I try not to do that. For hair especially, I struggle not to copy it exactly how it is. Even so, I like how it came out in the end. I think the way I drew him is similar to the style I want to use when I make my webtoon in the future, so there's that. The hardest part to draw was getting his facial expression right. I wanted to capture that cold, emotionless expression. I think I did, but I'm not sure, so tell me what you think. The longer I stare at the original and my drawing of him, the more sad he looks. And I'm like, is he more sad than emotionless? Or maybe I'm just staring at too long. I don't know. Okay, now for coloring. Right now, I'm doing the background. For the entire art, I didn't color pick directly from the reference. I wanted to try to eyeball it, and I also want to pick colors that I would be naturally drawn to since this is my version of it. I have to say, I really do love the lighting in this scene. In general, I love night scenes with strong light sources. It's also very cool tone, which is something I tend to lean towards too. I find that I more often love my more cool tone artworks compared to my warm tone ones, so this scene was right up my alley. Something I was excited to color especially was the eyes. I always wanted to try adding that light shine reflection, whatever that thing is called, to the eyes in my art. So I'm glad that I was able to study it here in the original scene. Let's pause on talking about the artwork and talk about the anime itself. I watched this show recently, like either March or April. I've been super picky with what shows I watch lately, and if it doesn't interest me in like the first 10 minutes, I turn it off. My patience is so bad these days, I know. Anyways, for Classroom of the Elite, I was able to make it to the first 3 episodes. I liked it, but it didn't make me want to keep going, and since I watched it on Crunchyroll, only the first 3 episodes are available for free. So usually if I end up liking an anime, then I will go ahead and find another website to watch it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I decided to put Classroom of the Elite on hold. At the time, I think I wanted to watch something more funny. Eventually, I did come back to it, and when I did, I literally could not stop watching. I got hooked, okay? But seriously, can we talk about that school system? I would not make it out of there mentally okay. Like, what do you mean I have to survive in the forest to pass an exam? I am not smart enough for that, nor do I care enough about what rank I'm in. Oh, I'm in class D? So be it. I don't care. I think the worst part of it, though, would be dealing with the other students. So many of them have so much pride stuck up their ass, like chill. Okay, I know it's not easy to just chill, especially with that environment they're in right now, but like, oh my god. Technically, like, it makes sense why they're like that, because of how the school was ran and how they grew up and stuff, but like, that doesn't change the fact that it would be a pain to deal with them. It's just high school. Why can't they just let them live a normal high school? Why do they all have to be so competitive with each other? But that's also the nature of school and the whole entire plot, so it makes sense. And I'm living for it. Can't wait for the next season. Ayana Koji is my favorite character in the series, and Karuizawa, I might have pronounced her name wrong, I'm sorry. So yeah, for Ayana Koji, I am really interested on what he does next and how he does it. I did kind of read up some spoilers because I couldn't wait, but I'm still looking forward to watch it when they make the new season. I really like that scene in the rain where he tells Horikita to not pry into his life. I considered drawing that scene instead, but I couldn't find an exact shot that I really wanted to draw. Also, is it just me or is his name really fun to say? Ayana Koji, Ayana Koji, Ayana Koji. Like, say his name 5 times in the mirror at night and he'll show up in your room at 3 a.m. Okay, the art is wrapping up here. I like how this one turned out. I went for my more Randall style, which is my go-to for color illustrations. Drawing this definitely got me back into the swing of making art again, so I'm glad I did it. Moving on to our second anime, this scene is from The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, Season 1, Episode 2. I chose this anime mainly because I wanted to draw Rose. I love her. I thought about a scene that was just her, but I also wanted to draw something more funny, specifically a character making an exaggerated silly face. That's why I settled on this one. I want to get better at drawing more expressions for that webtoon I will make someday. I don't draw these kinds of exaggerated expressions often, so when drawing the scene, I heavily relied on copying what I saw. My style definitely faded away a bit when drawing this one, but I don't think that was a bad thing since I considered this mostly a study. It helped me realize the things I needed to work on, like drawing heads at different angles, movement. Mine ended up much more stiff, which is a problem I still find in my art so much. And oh my god, I love drawing the hands for this one, which is weird for me. I think it would definitely help me in future hand drawings. At least Rose turned out pretty. She felt more comfortable to draw since she was just looking at him. But Usato, on the other hand, felt so out of my style, if that makes sense. Let's move on to coloring. I once again did not color pick directly from the original, but it's still super close. More close than the Ayana Koji redraw, I would say. The background was fun. I used a leaf brush on Critter and tried to get all the values for the tree right. My clouds aren't as detailed, but I got lazy with that to tell the truth. For Rose, aka my queen, I colored her in my more Randall shading style. Her hair was a lot of fun to shade. I hardly colored green hair, but now I feel like I need to draw more green hair characters. At first, I wasn't going to add the highlight since I thought it looked fine without it, but I did so anyways. I don't draw highlights like that, but since I liked how it turned out here, I might try to do that again for future artworks. Before moving on to Usato, I want to talk about the show. I absolutely love it. It was on the popular list on Crunchyroll. I was eyeing it for some time but kept avoiding it. Finally, one day I told myself that I would probably like it if I just gave it a chance, and I did. And once I did, I couldn't stop watching it. Again. I love Rose and Usato. I think the mentor-mentee relationship is so sweet even though they get mad at each other. You know what I mean if you watch it. I also love the way they use healing magic. At first you wouldn't think healers need all that physical strength, but it actually makes sense. To heal people, you need to save them, and to save them, you need strength. I'm not sure if they confirmed the second season, but the way they ended it makes it seem like they will, so looking forward to it. Okay, back to the art. Since this is a funny scene, I felt that it would look weird if I rendered Usato as much as I did with Rose. For comedic effect, I thought if the shading was more simple and flat, in contrast with Rose, it would look more funny. But I'm not sure if it worked. Instead, it looked more like I got lazy with shading him. Whoops. Those movement lines were fun to do. I was looking forward to do them from the start ever since I decided on the scene. That's also another reason why I wanted to keep the shading simple. Lastly, to try and add my own touch since I copied the original a lot, I added these blue lines in between his eyes as an attempt at exaggerating his expression more. It didn't do much though. Also, doesn't the Usato I drew look more mad? In the original, he looks more appalled, while mine just looks angry. Anyways, the artwork is coming to an end here. I liked how it turned out. If I think of this more as 80% a study and 20% a finished illustration, I'm happy with it. And those are the redraws for this video. Tell me which one is your favorite, and also let me know which anime I should redraw a scene from next. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. I guess I'll go now. Bye-bye.